Hi guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Serena, and I am your go-to guide for all things sensitive. Today in our video, we are going to be talking about the different types of empaths. So let's get started. So the different kinds of empaths. Basically, I did a lot of research on this, you guys. This is the first time that I could not get a fully conclusive answer on this because there were websites that said there's 4 different kinds, 6, 8, all the way up to 14 different types of empaths. So the online community does not have a conclusive, basically any type of a conclusive answer on this. So I went with the 6 most common types of empaths, and then that's what we're going to be talking about today, is the 6 most common types of empaths. Number 1, the emotional empath. So the emotional empath is going to feel or take on other people's feelings. So this means they're going to absorb other people's feelings, or they're going to feel the emotions of others within their own physical body. Number 2, so the second type of empath is a physical empath. These types of empaths are going to be able to detect physical symptoms. So they may be around somebody with a headache and they start to notice pressure in their own head. Or I've actually heard a lot of interesting stories about empaths being able to detect cancer in the body. So I think that's also very interesting. So empaths are going to take on the physical symptoms of other people. So they might be able to feel pain for other people, sickness, or just any type of physical symptom, whether it's positive or negative. Most of my examples were negative just now, but it could also be positive. Number 3. So I've never heard this described before. So this was actually a learning lesson for me. The third type of empath is called a Geomantic Empath. And so this is, and if you are a Geomantic Empath, you'll completely relate to this. You go to a place and you don't know why, but it just feels amazing, or it just feels like home. So Geomantic empaths basically have a strong attunement to physical places or landscapes. So when they are in one of these places that they are physically attuned to, they may feel really good or just recharged or have this sense of like peace and belonging there. Number 4. So number 4, the 4th type of empath is an earth, or I also like to say a plant empath. So a lot of times we have these beautiful, I have a couple of friends like this that are just beautiful plant whisperers, and their houses are like jungle gardens and they're beautiful. And so basically earth or plant empaths. So a little bit of difference between the two, but they're in the same category. So an earth empath is going to be finely attuned to what's going on with the planet as a whole. So it might be, they can tell you it's going to rain like 5 minutes before it rains without knowing what the sky looks like or anything like that. Or they might feel different astrological shifts because, of course, as we know, all of that kind of stuff affects the earth because the planets and the way they rotate, the sun, the moon, stars, the other planets, all that good stuff. So they might be able to tell you when different astrological events are happening or the way the collective feels when that stuff is going on. And then you have your plant empaths as well. So plant empaths are basically going to be able to tune into, the dirt, the trees, the leaves on a plant. They're going to know how to care for the earth and the specific plants within the earth without really having to do a lot of research. Like, it's very intuitive. That's what makes it a plant empath, is they don't really have to look it up on the internet. They don't have to, have a lot of background information. It's like, oh, this plant feels dehydrated, or okay, this plant feels like it needs more sun. Things like that is what a plant empath is going to pick up on. Number 5. So the fifth most common type of empath is the intuitive empath. So an intuitive empath is actually really similar to an emotional empath, where they are going to feel emotions and thoughts of others within their own body. However, the intuitive empath is going to have a little bit more, I don't want to say self-awareness, because the emotional empath is not unself-aware. But an intuitive empath is going to have a deeper understanding of their own internal state. Therefore, they can clearly distinguish what they're feeling inside of them is not theirs. Whereas an emotional empath is maybe going to feel the emotion and be like, okay, I'm feeling anxious, blah, 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 and not really pinpoint that like, oh, this is somebody else's or this is coming from there. An intuitive empath is really going to be able to say, okay, I feel this, but that is not mine. It's coming from here. And this gives the intuitive empath a little bit of like, I don't know if you want to say like an edge or something like that. But they're able to then create a little bit more of a stronger boundary between themselves and the symptoms or the stimulus that they're feeling. All right, the sixth, but not last type of empath. The sixth most common type of empath is an animal empath. And if you know one of these, they're the most beautiful people. I am not one, but I just think that they are amazing and so cute. So these are going to be your animal whisperers, basically. These are going to be people that can understand the inner state of what's going on with an animal. I actually saw this really interesting video this one time of this leopard. And he was rescued, and his name was Diablo. And if you guys have seen this video, tell me down below, because this is a really good video. And if you haven't seen it, I highly recommend you looking it up. I don't know what you would Google, maybe just like on YouTube, leopard named Diablo or something like that. But so basically, this leopard was rescued, and it was super, super aggressive with the people that rescued it. And the guy didn't want to give up. He was like, I know there's a good animal in there somewhere. So they brought in an animal empath who, I think they called her like an animal psychic. So, you know, there's that. But so they brought in her, and she was able to read and really like speak telepathically with this animal. And he was telling her, you know, that he was angry from being mistreated, and he didn't like the name Diablo. So spoiler alert, in the end of the video, they rename him Spirit. And it's like the most beautiful video. It had me in tears and crying. So if you're an emotional person, just be aware. But yeah, so basically animal empaths are going to be able to understand what's going on with animals without needing to, you know, do research on that type of an animal, or without needing to consult the animal's owner, or it might even be wild animals. These people might have a lot of weird and strange encounters with animals coming up to them while they're in nature, because the animals can sense that you're a very healing and helping individual. So there you have it, guys. That was the sixth most common types of empaths. And believe me, like I said before, there is not conclusive information on this, on like how many there actually are, and maybe there's vastly more than 14. 14 was the biggest number I could find on my little Google search that I did, but maybe there's thousands. You know, like maybe there's a million types of empaths out there, and we just haven't done the research yet. So if you resonate with any of these ones, let me know in the comments which one you think you are, or if you are multiples of them. I would love to know that as well. So if you guys enjoyed this video, like, comment, subscribe, and we will see you next time. Big love, Serena.